Hello everyone. So I'm at Johannesburg, South Africa at BRICS Business Council Forum. And here with us today is the lady behind the entire show who has given her day and night to organize such a fabulous event. Ma'am, thank you so much being with us.
Rahul, thank you so much.
And first of all, I just wanted to say in India, when we meet someone, we say namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
And so my first question to you, like how difficult you find in recent scenario to organize such an event when you have to correlate all the countries like China, India, Russia, when such a situation is going on and when where in a geopolitical situation everybody has a very different dimensions and equations.
Rahul, it's very, very difficult because the geopolitical environment, be it the the Western countries and how they view what they may consider as the Eastern countries, be it the North versus the South, be it the situation that is happening between Russia and Ukraine at the moment. I can't isolate the unfortunate coup that is happening north of our continental borders at the moment in Niger. The issue by the International Criminal Court of the warrant of arrest against President Putin. So we have a very polarized world in terms of politics. Strangely, what I am finding in business and the commercial world is that business people, entrepreneurs, business leaders have an appetite for the opportunity that we see in the globe as we transition from the economies of the past to new high growth economies. The opportunity is there, we recognize it, we are talking to each other, we want to engage with each other, we want to do business, and yet we have this very disruptive geopolitical environment. So in South Africa's case, the beauty is that government and business leaders do talk and they do cooperate. So in terms of the tensions between America and how they view our membership of BRICS as a potential threat, our Minister of Trade and Industry led a business delegation to the US a month or so ago to go and engage with the American legislators to indicate to them how important it is for us to continue trading with the US. Our relationship with BRICS is not there to replace. It's an opportunity that's important for our economy, which has hardly recovered from the impact of the COVID pandemic in terms of economic growth. So yes, it is a difficult time, but I think where we connect at a person-to-person level, and I'm delighted that there's a demonstration here in real life with the business community that is here today, that we can do that. Where we connect, then we are able to engage and talk and hopefully find resolutions. And I also wish to acknowledge that the African leaders have responded by also calling on all warring factions, be it in the continent or outside of the continent, to sit at the table. Because the guns destroy human beings, they destroy people, they destroy life. They don't resolve issues. Talking, however, resolves issues.
So as you said that every discussions and every problem has a solution on table.
Absolutely.
Guns has not a solution.
Absolutely.
And especially when we talk about India and South Africa,
correct,
as our Prime Minister Narendra Modi always says, that we not only share a business connections, but we do share a cultural connections too. So how you see the relation of South Africa and India going forward, and say in next 5 years, 10 years down the line, when the new generation of entrepreneurs are coming and new technology is driving down. So how you see that South Africa going to have that kind of relation with India?
So India and South Africa are family, in my view. The relationship between our countries comes from before, and I am not young, before my time. So it's an enduring and very, very deep relationship that actually has traversed the challenges that our country has had, and I hope that the challenges that India has also had. I expect that going forward, with the young enterprising population that you find in India, and the very ambitious, very creative, very hungry, youthful population that you find in South Africa and the African continent, I believe that the opportunities for linkages and partnerships will only escalate from here. We learn from each other. Nollywood in Nigeria was, of course, modeled or at least a response to what we witnessed from Bollywood. The technology revolution that we have seen in India, we now have youngsters that either go and train in India, or Indian companies that come into the South African environment and the African continent to come and train our young people. And I would be delighted to start seeing more young people as entrepreneurial as I've seen Indian youngsters setting up a shop and in no time building a business of size and scale. I always tell my boys, and they're not boys, they are young men now, I should say, because they're not that young anymore, that if there's anything that I would love them to learn, it is how enterprising the Indian young people are, because they see an opportunity and they seize and run with it. And that's something that I wish for my young people.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi going to be here for BRICS summit.
Absolutely.
And now everyone knows him in the world. So I just wanted to know your personal experiences. When you met him, I get to know that you went to Varanasi, and it was a coincidence when Prime Minister Shimbu, he was there, and you met him. So I just wanted to know, what are your memories which is there with Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
So Prime Minister Modi is, of course, a towering figure in so many ways, intellectually. I think his vision has reverberated across not just India, but also the world, to take the Indian economy to the growth rates that we are currently experiencing in India. To have an economy of the size of the Indian economy recover so quickly post-COVID is because of how visionary Prime Minister Modi is, and how I think he doesn't just put a vision in place, but he ensures that there is implementation. My fortune of meeting the Prime Minister is, of course, in the formal BRICS environments. But I was very fortunate that my husband and I were visiting, of course, Varanasi on the Ganges River, and we were just enjoying a holiday there. And then we suddenly saw, when we arrived, that Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, may his soul rest in peace, was actually visiting India at the same time. So we went out and joined the crowds and the processions, and it was absolutely beautiful for many reasons. First reason is that this is a holy town, and one can feel the significance of Varanasi when you arrive. But for us to then coincide with the presence of two significant heads of state was absolutely magnificent. It's something that has stayed in my memory and will stay for the rest of my life.
Thank you, ma'am, for giving us such a lovely time. And I wish that you visit India again. And India has its own charm and its beauty, and that holistic approach which heals the body and soul, and which our Prime Minister always says, that in India we always says the Atiti Devo Bhava, which means that India, world is one family. Absolutely. And next month we're going to having our G20 summit, so we'll be having G20 different nations.
Correct.
So thank you so much having with us.
Absolutely, and wishing you the best with the G20. And of course, congratulations with your Independence Day that you celebrated just the other day. Thank you, Raul.
Thank you so much.
Namaste.
Namaste.